Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we are going to go through the INT Android 17 Team Universe 7 LR that was recently brought out on DBZ Dokkan Battle Global. So he is a representative of Universe 7, 150% lead and a Super INT type lead. He is also able to increase his allies' defense on his 12 and 18 key, along with also raising their critical chance on his 18 key rather than his 12 key, but both will raise defense. He has attack and defense at 70%, plus an additional attack and defense when there are 5 or more reps of Universe 7 category allies on the team, plus an additional attack when he has 22 key or more, plus an additional 2 key per orb received, and he gains crit chance per rainbow orb. So overall, pretty impressive high attack damage style passive there. In terms of build for this android, you're probably going to want to go for a additional build over more than a crit build, because that's going to allow you to double stack the defensive buffs, and also he has an innate crit chance built into his passive along with a high nuking potential, so you can crit and get some additionals going off. In terms of links, we have Android Assault, Infinite Energy, Solid Support, Shocking Speed, Torment of Power, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power, all of which are conducive to him being pretty much run alongside MVP 17, but he also has some solid combined or joined forces LRs that he can link with, along with just generically being pretty alright alongside any Torment of Power unit. So we'll try him out in a couple of events. He's pretty much got an issue of being only exclusively able to be run on a Reps of Universe 7 team due to the way his passive works, and unfortunately he does not fall under the Android category, so he realistically literally has 2 teams, the Universal Survival Saga and the Reps of Universe 7. But because you'd have to basically make your Universal Survival Saga team entirely Reps of Universe 7, it's pretty much your only option. So we have him here in our first turn. We do not have him linked with anyone too spectacularly, but he has 111,000 defense, and this is a 55% unit, so he will gain 30% defense on his super attack as well. We have him linked up with 4 links with the Gohan and Frieza card, and he has 20% support from them. So overall we should see somewhat of an impressive attack here. We do not have the 22 key attack buff, but we should see a decent attack stat here. We do have a full Reps of Universe 7 team, so we're going to see some decent numbers. 2.4 million, not too bad. Obviously his big damage spike comes from that 22 key, but at 55% that's really not too bad. It would have raised his defense by an additional 30%, so it would have been looking at about 120, 130k or so defense, along with also raising the rest of the team. So overall, not bad at all as a performance. Remember, Android 17 also has an active skill that can be activated once you have received or a certain amount of turns have passed, and you can activate his skill. So pretty nice to see. A solid starting point for a 55% unit. Obviously maybe not as impressive as, say, for example, Goku or Vegeta, but still very impressive in his own right. And obviously a very crucial card for a lot of challenges that are coming up and a lot of events that are currently out. Things like the God event, things like the Goku and Frieza EZA. A lot of these things are going to require this card, or he's going to be super helpful in them, just due to the fact that he buffs the entire rotation's defense. It's a very powerful ability. It helps you basically reduce a lot of damage, and if he fires off multiple super attacks, you're going to be stacking, or you're going to be basically buffing up the rest of the rotation's defense so much that that's really going to help you out. So still a very nice kit overall, and we'll see how he does on the second turn here. So in this turn we're going to keep him with the Gohan and Frieza. He's still at 111,000 defense. Obviously, just to remember that we do need to get 22 key or more so that we can see the big boy attack stats from him. So hopefully we'll get it here. We should be able to get the full 24 key, so we'll see a much higher attack stat than we did last time. And when he's linked up with MVP 17, he's going to have so much ki that's going to be a lot easier to get that spike in damage. So yeah, Gohan and Frieza are an okay pairing partner for him. Obviously they do give him a buff, they do share some decent links with him. There we go, 4.8 million, very, very impressive attack stat there. Really nice to see. We didn't get that many rainbow orbs, so we didn't have like the highest crit chance. The only thing he's realistically missing from his kit, or maybe from the Reps of Universe 17 build, is you realistically will want someone that can generate rainbow orbs, which is somewhat difficult to do on the team currently, but they might come out in future. So realistically, that's the only thing missing from like his ideal team build or his ideal kit build. So that's pretty much the only issue you're going to have with him. Other than that, he looks really solid. I mean, at 55%, defense is looking solid. Obviously, he's boosting our whole lineup. He's also got a really nice attack stat there with the 22 ki. We're looking at 4.8 million, which is really good. That does rival the LRs, the Goku and the Vegeta, so really impressive. He doesn't have the innate crit chance, so obviously rainbow orbs will determine how that goes, but at the end of the day, very nice. So really impressed with him so far at 55%, and I think, you know, is he worth the summon? Possibly not, just because the banner is quite weak, for me at least, but I think he's definitely a good LR, and I think you shouldn't be disappointed if you get him. I don't think there's any LR you should really be disappointed with if you get them. So here we go, we've got all the links activated now, pretty much, except for Legendary Power. We're all the way up to 161k defense. That's also because of Android 17's passive, which increases defense. But we're looking really solid here. We're going to get the 24 ki again, which is going to be a higher attack stat for us. And then we got a couple rainbow orbs as well. So right now we are looking really solid. We'll see how we do. Obviously, again, that defense is going to go up. And he's going to raise Android 17's defense as well. So realistically, this lineup's now looking quite tanky. If you were to get an additional attack, we'd be really sitting nice and pretty with our defense. So still, I'm really liking the way the card builds and works into the team. It's just that he's so limited that he can only be on one category, really. And yeah, well, there we go. A very nice attack stat, busting past the 5 mil mark, which is really impressive, especially for a 55% unit. He's got, you know, MVP 17 hitting 2 million right next to him. They both have at this point over 130,000 defense. The LR is probably close to 200k. And yeah, we're just really sitting in a really comfortable spot. We did have a 20% attack buff there, but we're still only on a 55% unit. So overall, I think really it's just been quite impressive. That being said, obviously we'll try and get a look at a unit with a couple dupes in them, but I still think the number one limiting thing here is just that he can only be on one team, and I think that will remain his major sticking point, you know, for a long time. It's very similar to the GT trio of Trunks, Pan, and Goku. They're a very impressive card. They can hit very hard, they can stack defense to a decent point, but they just can only exist on a single category team. So even though they are so impressive, they just currently not a card you see very often. There's nothing wrong with the card, it just can only exist in one meta. So it's just like a lot of these cards that generate their buffs from other units on the team, things like Kale and, you know, Kale and Caulifla. The LR there, they're really good because Pure Saiyans as a category is quite wide and has a lot of options, but that's the only reason they are considered better than something like you know, this card or any other one, and it's just simply because of that fact that Saiyan category is quite wide. But yeah, we've got the active skill, so we'll watch that, and then yeah, we'll pick up afterwards. So really nice active skill there, really cool animations, you know, also raises attack and gives ki to the entire rotation, so pretty impressive overall. But yeah, really impressive display by the 50%, 55% Android 17. We'll jump across now to an attempt whereby we basically did not have, let's say, a 55% Android 17, and instead we had a slightly better version of Android 17, just slightly, basically in the form of a rainbow one. And we'll take a look at how that one does. We've run the exact same team. Like I said, he can only realistically be run on a single team. So we've run pretty much the exact same team. We've just changed up one or two things. But he really only can be run on a Reps of Universe 7 team to get the best out of him. Obviously, that's his big caveat, basically. But beyond that, very impressive 55%. So let's get a good look at the Rainbow unit. So already we're at 133,000 defense. We have no support on rotation, no decent linking partners. So already you can see that big jump in defense that we naturally get when we add in a couple dupes. Overall, I do expect us to be seeing a pretty decent attack stat, but we'll just get there when we get there. It's going to depend on how much key we get, but we're going to try and link him up with the MVP 17 as quickly as possible, and then we'll see where we can go from there. But unfortunately unable to get the 22 key bonus, so realistically we're not going to see the full range of his attack stat. Generally you want Android 17 to fire off in the first slot. The reason being is that means that his buff then applies to the full rotation. So that is something to just keep in mind. I'm obviously trying to switch him off rotation currently so we can link him up a bit better, but that is something that you want to keep in mind. But already we can see the attack stats obviously are looking pretty good. We've got the buff from being on a Reps of Universe 7 team, so realistically we're just waiting for the 22 key one, and we'll see this massive spike in defense. Well, in attack damage, I should say. But yeah, so beyond that, the Rainbow one's already looking obviously miles better, as they usually do. In terms of performance, I think for this guy with the Rainbow copy, like I said, getting those additionals is really going to increase his borderline improvements. Going to allow you to possibly double stack the defensive buff, which is going to be really, really good. The only caveat, of course, is that then you're going to possibly miss out on a little bit of that crit chance because you can't really control the amount of rainbow orbs that you get. But that's okay. I think it's a willing sacrifice to make. I think, he gives a 7% crit chance buff on his 18 key. If you pick up 2 rainbow orbs, that's a 14% buff to his crit chance as well. And you'll still have some hidden potential crit chance, so you still have a decent crit system going on. It's just going to depend on how lucky you get. If you get 3 rainbow orbs or something, you're going to be sitting really, really pretty. If you get like 1 rainbow orb, obviously your expectations are a little bit lower, but I still think building him into additional is the way to go. I just think that double stacking of that defense is going to be super helpful, not just for him, but for the entire rotation. So it's definitely going to be something we'll like to see. But here we go. Obviously, we're now in the 190s in terms of defense. So we're definitely going to surpass 200k once we super, which is very, very cool. And then, yeah, we're going to get a good idea of his attack stats here because we have pretty much the ideal rotation sitting on. So I do not think that Android 13 is going to survive this turn. I can't see it happening. The main thing is we just need to make sure that we get the 22 key, which we do, and we get 2 rainbow orbs. So yeah, pretty good. We've got a high crit chance, got the 14% base, and remember he gets additional key for his rainbow orbs as well. So that's why collecting 2 rainbow orbs is better than collecting like 5 ordinary orbs. And very, very chunky attack stat indeed. So yeah, very impressive overall here by Android 17. Followed up with a 4 mil additional. Gonna double stack that defense. He had a decent amount of crit chance on both. Just a huge amount of damage. And yeah, just overall very, very impressive. A very, very nice attack stat. Very, very nice damage amount. And yeah, I think he's great on a Reps of Universe 7 team. Definitely a must have, definitely a must use. If you're gonna use him, rock MVP 17, who is still very, very good. So yeah, nothing wrong with this card. If you've got him, rock him out. He's very, very good. So we'll just take a brief look at his links. Obviously his major links are going to be Infinite Energy, Android Assault, Shocking Speed, Solid Support, Tournament of Power, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. Android 17's best linking partner is the physical Android 17, MVP 17 as he's commonly referred to. He shares every link but Legendary Power, which is obviously, pretty damn good. There are a couple other Androids that share a decent link set with them, but their major problem is they are not on the Reps of Universe 7 category. So you can't really use them. Even though they have a great link set with them. Remember, he's not on the Androids category, so you can't actually put him on any of their categories either. So right now there's no real way to use them together, which is a bit of a bummer that he's so limited. I would have liked to have at least seen him on the Androids category. I know it would have been a little bit weird for the card considering it's got the Reps of Universe 7 there, but it would have really helped him out and at least given him maybe another home as a floater, at least. Maybe not the huge attack stats that you get on the Reps of Universe 7 team, but a nice little defensive floater buff for the Androids team. That being said though, there are a couple decent linking partners that are not Androids. So if we remove the Android Assault and the Infinite Energy, which we failed to do here, there we go. Once you remove those two there and you leave yourself with just Tournament of Power, Solid Support, and Shocking Speed for his key links, you should get one or two decent linking partners, the major ones being the Goku and Frieza and the Gohan and Frieza here. Those are going to be some decent linking partners with them. Obviously they're not the greatest, but they're going to share 4 links with them, which is pretty good, and they're both on the Reps of Universe 7 category. The rest of these units, like the Topo, the Dispo, the Hit, are great units, but realistically can only be run with him on a Universal Survival Saga, and since you need so many Reps of Universe 7 category units to realistically make him work to his full efficiency, you can only really afford to run one of these guys under like a Super Saiyan Kaioken Goku build. So it's a little bit wonky, but there is a way to kind of fit them together if you really want to. And then beyond that, just looking at units that I don't have, a really good linking partner for him that shares 5 links with him is obviously the Frieza and Android 17. They share 5 links, so they're a relatively good linking set. They're just missing the 2 Android links. But that's going to be it from me, guys. Let me know in the comments down below how you've been finding Android 17 and if you were lucky enough to get him. But as always, until the next video, cheers, stay safe, and bye!